Hello, the Odd Job Doer here, and today we got a little scientific-y experiment kind of going on here. And what we got here is a little kit. Take this thing off here from let's see, package designed by William Sonoma, San Francisco, Urban Cheesecraft, right? I don't know if you can see it down there, Urban Cheesecraft. This here is make farm fresh cheese in your own kitchen. It's easy, all natural, and fun. Well, we shall see. This thing includes instructions, recipes, fine cheesecloth, cooking thermometer, vegetarian rennet, citric acid, and cheese salt. You need a gallon of pasteurized or farm fresh cow's milk per batch, and it makes about 10 batches, 1 pound each. Alright, so let's get in this little kit here and see what we got. Well, first of all, this here's a kind of neat thing here. You can do like that, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. I guess this is after you open the first time or something. You can. Oh yeah, nice little carrying handle there, right? So that's fancy. Now, what else we got in here? So looks like we have an instruction booklet. This talks about ricotta and mozzarella. Okay. And we got a little brown paper bag here. Cheese salt. Yep, feels like cheese salt. We got another paper bag, citric acid. Citric acid. We got a thermometer. Right? Yeah, nice there. What's this here? We got a little bitty thing of rennet. To be used only in dairy, not to be swallowed. Clots 50 liters of milk at 35 Celsius, 95 Fahrenheit. Alright, so I guess that's right. And we got a ghost. Ooh! Alright, so there's a cheesecloth, which is a fine meshed cloth, but not too fine, but pretty fine. You can strain stuff through it usually. And how much we got here? Alright, we got this much. So, a lot. In fact, that even comes unmoored folded, so if this doesn't work out for this, you can always do mummy wraps or something. So, cheesecloth and empty box. Okay, so that's what comes with the kit. Little tab of rennet. This has 2 tabs in there. Cheese salt, citric acid, thermometer. Take a look at this here because it seems like it's an oldie quality thermometer typey thingy. So has a plastic housing, I believe. This thing pops off. You can stab this in your meat or so. Right. You have a thermometer there, which right now it's saying 80, almost 80 Fahrenheit. That's if I squeeze it. Never mind. So there's that, and this plastic tubing thing where you can hook this on your shirt, and there's something here probably for checking temperature with. I don't know. This is probably not needed for this experiment. But, you house your thermometer back in there. And from what I understand, these kind of things, actually I've seen before. Like, appliance guys, use them, put them in the fridge, you put them in your car, AC blower. This thing here goes from 0 to 220 Fahrenheit. So that's going to be great. Okay. Manual. Now, this is not my first time making cheese, but it's my first time using this kind of kit. There's some tips for success over here. Fresh ricotta, 5 steps, looks like. Fresh mozzarella, a little bit more, 12-step program on that one. And water bath method, crepes with berries and ricotta, so it looks like they have an extra little bonus recipe there. And on the back we got a chicken salmon bocca, something like that. Herb pesto and mozzarella panini, and lemon ricotta pancakes. and variations of the server's ideas. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do the ricotta recipe, and as a little bonus at the end of this, I'm going to do a little recipe, yeah, a little experiment, something to eat. So let me get all set up here, and we'll move on. All right, to make this a little more extra scientific-y, I'm going to do a little weight measuring. So I got a gallon of milk here. I'm turn the scale on here. Let it zero out. And give this guy a weigh here. Yeah. So this here is 8 pounds. 8 pounds, 12.6 ounces. Write that down. 8 LB 12.6 OZ. Okay. So we got that down. If you want in kilograms, it's 3 kilograms, 0.986 grams, or something like that. Okay. So milk off. And then as one of the hints that they want you to do, or tips, is over here at the range side we got some hot water going, and they said just that you get boiling water and test out your thermometer. So thermometer should read 212, I believe. I'm just going to do a little something like this, you see. Bring it around here. Get this little face off there. Trying to get it so it doesn't touch the bottom, because that's more of a direct heat. Let me put off to the side here. The water's not quite at a boil. And my thermometer, hard to see there, but it is upside down. Ish. So I'm going to continue this over here, but what else we'll do? Okay, so this right here, let it boil. Take it so it's hotter. And when this is boiling, they say to go ahead and throw your cheesecloth in there to help sterilize anything off of it, get any kind of bacteria, whatever. And I'll put in my slotted spoon, because when you want you to have a slotted spoon, I have this right here, spoon I'll be using. And I think that's it. So jump back in here. This kit here retailed for $25.95. $25.95, right, at the store. And now, I don't know if that's a good deal or not. I know the cheesecloth would probably be reusable for a few times. The thermometer definitely should be reusable for many things. I'll try to keep it though for kitchen and cheese making stuff. Let's see, the salt and citric acid, both of that, in my mind, it's kind of a cheaper ingredient probably, but there's enough there to do multiple batches, it looks like. The rennet, that stuff, the vegetarian rennet, I don't know how much that stuff cost. And 2 little tablets. I noticed in one recipe it says you only use, I think, like a quarter of a tab. So I'll have to check on that later. Other things which you'll need for this is, for this particular recipe, is let's see, you need a small bowl, a large pot, at least 5 quarts, a large slotted spoon, which I already showed, the cooking thermometer included, a colander, the fine cheesecloth included, and a large heat-resistant bowl. Okay, so far I got the thermometer going here. It's about 180. Yeah, 180. But we also got this here, you see, handy-dandy laser. And what I've been doing is comparing readouts here. So I got 180 on that thermometer, and when I hit this one here with the digital, 190. So this thermometer is probably still good. This one here. Just I need to make sure it's maybe submerged more than just the tip, which we'll get that going pretty soon. In the meantime, water's boiling, and if you want to see something hot, check this out. Oh, I have stir on right. 835 degrees. Okay, so stainless steel is what I'm using. Another hint is not to use aluminum or cast iron because it's reactive. This is boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and add my cheesecloth to it and smash it down with my slotted spoon. Right, and let this kind of boil for 5 minutes or so to kill off anything that might be there. I'll put this in here too. I'm going to use this later. Alright. Now, other parts of this, which we need over here, is we need a half cup measuring and a teaspoon. And what we use is, okay, for the ricotta we need half a cup of cool chlorine-free water, so probably not just from your tap. You probably want to get it from a bottle or a purifier system, if you have that. Then 1 teaspoon of citric acid, which is included, and 1 gallon of milk, which I already saw that, and then 1 teaspoon of cheese salt or to taste. I'm actually going to cut back on the salt because I don't want this to be a salty cheese. Of course, I don't know how it's going to taste after it's all made. You need a small bowl, which we got over here, large pot, which is over on the range, large spoon, I already saw that, cooking thermometer, colander. I'll grab that eventually, and large heat-resistant bowl. I'll find that too, because I think that's optional. Can't remember if that's to actually hold the cheese or if that's to hold the curd. No, the whey. Yeah, the whey. We'll get to that later though. So, step 1 is you get your water, and I'm going to get me a half a cup of the water. And put it in here, believe it or not. Alright. Half cup water. Success. And from what I can tell, this should be a pretty easy recipe to do. So I hope I don't botch it up too much. Then we add citric acid. And that is the 1 teaspoon of citric acid to that water. So, give this a little stir down here, break up any clumps that might be there. You can see there, citric acid is just like a white crystallized structure. Okay. And then just stir it in. Righto. Then step 2, we're going to add the milk to the pot. Just needs a little rinsing out. I guess this is the part where I should have done this ahead of time a little bit, but I was too excited about trying to get the thermometers to the right temperatures and all. So, clean pot. At least 5 quarts. And in the pot goes the milk. The whole gallon. I don't spill anything elsewhere. Well, easy, easy. Pour it nice and smooth. Anyone timing this? Just kidding. Then I am going to go ahead and start the temperature up to the medium. Ooh. my. Gallon. So, and this milk I'm using is actually whole milk. Well, it's a 3.5% milk fat. I think it's pretty close to whole milk. You can try others, low fat, 2% or 1%, but I really think that maybe this fat in the milk helps out the cheese. Now then, we're going to put in our citric acid water mixture to this with the water here. Put some heat onto it. Alright. Make sure you get any granules out there because this is important for the chemical reaction. Get out of there. And you add the salt. Teaspoon of salt. Which, like I said, I'm going to add less than a teaspoon. So let's see. Cheese salt. Almost got the citric acid again. Yeah, cheese salt. And we'll take a look at this here, this little ingredient. I'm going to add a smidgen. So I can grab a smidgen. There we go. So what, half a teaspoon maybe? Looking at it, I don't know. It looks like it was kind of fine. There. And then you stir it. So you want those ingredients incorporated throughout your milk mixture. Alright. All mixed around good in there. Okay. Now comes the boring part. Letting this thing heat up to the temperature it needs, I believe. We're on step 3. Set the pot over a medium-high heat, which I think I got that. And gently checking the bottom with the pot for scorching. So you just kind of, well, gently as this thing's getting up there, run this across the bottom. You know, bring it up, make sure there's no, you know, black stuff on there. Make sure when you're scraping it, you know, nothing sticks to the bottom there. And you do it gently. Every 2 minutes or so. And you avoid stirring it, so don't stir it, folks. And you allow the curds to form. And if it seems to be, so it says here, if the curds, let's see, form, if the milk seems to be sticking, reduce the heat to medium-low. Heat the milk to 180 to 185. And do not allow the mixture to boil over. Yeah, don't boil milk over, that's horrible. So, I'll just let this go. So we're almost up to about 120. And you can see now the milk mixture there with the citric acid is getting a little coagulated, eh? So I'm still taking my spoon and just slowly scraping across the bottom. Alright, you can see you got some curds there. You know what, I'm just going to scrape it back the other way. I don't feel any resistance per se. Alright, put that back. And over here, what I'll be doing, I got a bowl. Heat resistant, fairly. I'm going to weigh this bowl. Alright, let's see what we got here. This bowl here weighs in at that bowl there weighs in 3 pounds 5.2 ounces. Write that down. 3 lb 5.3 OZ. And I'm going to make up a little something here with that bowl and a colander. I'm going to do a little capturing. So we have a bowl, we have colander, we have a heat-resistant pad to put on the countertop. Bowl on that, colander on top of that. See what I'm getting at? Yeah, something like that there. And then, this is where the cheesecloth comes in handy. Because this is pretty fine, but this cheesecloth is much finer. And it's a big piece, but you know what? I'm not going to cut it down. I'm going to fold it once in half and drape it across like so. And kind of push it down, keeping some of it over the lip. Right. And when I go to pour, because eventually I'll be pouring this hot mixture into this contraption, I'm going to aim for the middle. Because, you know, if you get too far to the side here, you already have holes here, and it's just going to make a mess. So that there's ready to go. Milk on the other hand, where are we at? We're going up to 140 almost. And you can see it's getting, you know, kind of separated. The curds and the whey. So the curds are the chunky parts, which will be cheese, and the whey is the leftover watery parts. Alright, so this temperature thermometer here is reading about 180. And you can see now it's getting pretty curdy in there. There's a little bit of bubbly noises going on. And digital's reading about 145, I think, max it gets to. But give it a slight little stir here. And it was ever so much getting crusty at the bottom, I think. And so I turned the temperature down some. Right. Yeah, a little bit crusty there. Otherwise, I think this is going to plan. What we're trying to do here is get a separation. In theory, it's supposed to be a little yellowish liquid in there and a white curds. So we'll do its magic step. It's only at now, by this thing, maybe 180. Actually, might be 185. Alright, so you guys missed a fun fact here, or something neat. Basically, it's getting up to there in the 200 range, so a little bit too hot for this, I'm pretty sure, because you don't want it to boil over. And guess what? When you have something like this thick skimminess on a liquid, chances are it won't boil over. It might just explode over. And just a little bit of aftermath here is, you can see here on the handle, a little bit of curdage there. Cleaned up the countertop already. But because the burner that was on had some liquid underneath it now, that's why I switched to this smaller burner and just try to maintain the temperature. I let it drop back down. It's in the 185 range again by the thermometer. So I'm going to try to maintain it here and see what happens. For a little bit longer. You can see the curds are really being curdy, but the whey's not yellow. So we'll see if I can get to that point. Alright, so here we are. Now the importance of this is to get to the, like I said, the 180 to 185 temperature range. That should get you a little simmer. That should have like a little bit of steam coming off this. So that, plus the citric acid, makes this coagulate into the curds in the whey. And I don't know if this is right or not, first time making it, but it seemed like they wanted you to see more of a yellowish whey and whiter curds. And I'm just not seeing the yellowish whey, I'm seeing, you know, Milky Way. Milky Way, just kidding. So, what I'm going to do now, though, is I'm tired, so I'm going to shut it all off, because I see there's cheese there. So I'm going to shut it off, and you let it rest for 10 minutes, where you don't touch none of this stuff. Well, I'm going to take the thermometer out and just let it sit there for 10 minutes. So what we got here is a cheesecloth, colander again, heat-resistant bowl at the bottom here. And now this thing's still plenty hot. If I use the digital laser thermometer on top of it, it's reading 145.5. So I'm going to very gently and gingerly, hopefully, pour it in this, and the curd should stay up here, and the whey should go at the bottom, and let's see what happens here. It's fairly heavy. Let's see. I believe you're supposed to pour away from yourself. Oh, a few chunks there. Okay, so here we go. Just check the sides of it. And now then, pot. We get a little slot spoon here. Do a little scrape out of the cheese that's not burnt to the bottom. Maybe a little burnt cheese is okay. So a little scorch on the bottom. Get out curds. Alright, so that's enough of that. And let's see, put this somewhere to cool. And we'll get back to this here. I'm going to give it a little flatness maybe. Okay, so now the trick here is you let this kind of sit for 15 to 30 minutes. And make sure it's not, oh, it's a whole lot of whey at the bottom. So, I don't need this much whey. So, this is going to go right over the sink. And I think we can bridge the gap. No, it can't. Alright, I'll put it right here in the sink for now. Put it somewhere. Okay, very careful in the sink. Now, while this is still here and almost a mess, I'm going to do a little measurement here. Grab the scale, whip it right down here. Kick it on, and put this hot milk bowl on top. Okay, that there we got 9 pounds. 9 pounds and 2.4 ounces. Write that down, it's important. Okay, now I'm going to take this here off, and I don't need all of this liquid left over, although you could keep it for a future thing, so I'm going to carefully, without burning my hands off, get some pot holders on this, and give a little pour, you know, down the drain. Yeah, it's a waste. But we don't need this much for sure. Right. Yeah, a little more maybe. All right. Now, this is not important to this cheese making process per se. I mean, it is important to get this out of here. So then if you want to put your cheese back on top, you can. But, now it's dirty, so I'm not going to put it back there yet. I'm going to find a container to put some of this in. Okay, I reserved 2 bowls here. I'll put the cheese back. And there's still some in the bottom of this thing. But you have this right here, your curds, right? What you could do is, to help it drain, you take this and you kind of move it around. The cheesecloth, right? But I'm not going to worry about it. Instead, I'm just going to let it sit here for anywhere to 15 to 30 minutes for it to kind of cool, and also for it to drain more. You can do this too. That actually worked. Okay, so I'll do 25 minutes. And we'll come back to it and see what it looks like. Hope there's no flies or anything. If you want to, you can cover your cheese with your cheesecloth in case you're worried about any kind of a critter flying around and buzzing into it. Alright, so let's sit there for about 25 minutes or so. I'll uncover it and see what we got here. It looks like curds. Ooh, it's still kind of warm, but not too bad. So now I just transfer it into this glass dish here for storage in the fridge. It seems a little thick too, so that's, whoops, nice. Alright, so while I transfer this, I'll think about it as a dessert recipe. Continue here, we've got the scale going again, and I'll put the bowl with the cheese curds on top. Give a little measurement here. Now write that down. So we got 2 pounds, 112.5 ounces. And you know what, before that I measured weighed the bowl, and that was 1 pound, 4.7 ounces. And so basically, looking at the math here, I would say we do have a pound of product. Okay, so 7.15. Well, I'll figure the math out. So that's it. There we go. Ricotta cheese. I let it sit out for probably about, actually maybe a little over 30 minutes. And it seems like it's extra dry now, which is going to be fine. And yeah, if you want a little bit more wet, I'm sure you can add more of the whey back into it and give it a little stir. But this is a consistency that I think I'm going to like it. Now, I didn't notice till I saw something on the internet, but basically when I talked about, I don't know if I talked about paneer cheese earlier, an Indian, I think, type of cheese. If you take this and press it and get more moisture out, and like I said, press it, that turns into paneer. If you have it more, bubbly, then it's ricotta. How's it different from, say, cottage cheese? Maybe cottage cheese has more liquid in it? I don't know. I think cottage cheese in the grocery stores is cheaper than ricotta cheese. I bought ricotta cheese once and it seemed like pretty expensive. So anyhow, this is it. I think the kit's not too bad. A little fun thing to do. The thermometer, I remember ones like that, only having a glass top to it, and this one I think has a plastic top to it. So that's a little bit different in thermometers, but who knows. And it can be reused again. The cheesecloth, right here, right, there they say to launder like you would I think a kitchen towel. And so I'm not too sure if that means with no detergents, or you don't dry it with a drying fabric softener in there. I don't remember cheesecloths being too expensive to start with, right? So you can probably just get that again, or wash out cold water, make sure it's all clean, and then let it hang dry. Just make sure you boil it the next time, and it'll be ready to go again. So, any questions, comments, leave them below. And thanks for watching. And stay tuned for a little recipe here. Okay, so the dessert starts like this. You got your ricotta in a little bowl. You top it with some cherries cut in halves, right? I got some 2 different kinds of cherries here. One of them, one came from the cherry tree in my front yard, right? And I didn't invent this dessert, or maybe I did, but I doubt it. So you got cherries in there, you got your ricotta cheese, and then what goes good on top of that, I'm assuming, there's going to be a little drizzle of some honey. Let's see if this honey's going to behave good. So you can see it's not really drizzling because it's a little crystallized, but ta-da, that's enough of that. Alright. So that there is my little dessert. And let me try a little bitesy here. Get some cherry, some ricotta here. That is a magical treat right there. So you make the ricotta, you have, and if you like cherries, you know, put that together. I took all the seeds out, the pips, and yeah, that's a good dessert to start with. So, quick recipe, and once again, thanks for watching. Still here at the crime scene. So, cherry's a little bit hard to cut the pips out if you don't have a cherry pipper, whatever. I know I have two of them somewhere, but not here. So, math-wise, what this came out to be was, scientific purposes here, is the milk was 8 pounds, what, 12.6 ounces, and then if you take away the jug, you get 8 pounds 10 ounces exactly in this case, and then that gives you, let's see, the whey came out to be, what the difference between the whey and the bowl came out to be 5 pounds 13.1 ounces, and like I said before, the cheese, the final weight of the cheese was 1 pound 7.8 ounces. Science. Alright, now you can go on about your day.